Before I get started, I'd like to read this scripture. You'll know why here in a little bit. It's 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6. It says, "For this reason I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands." Back in 92 and 93, I was having what I used to call one of my stints of sobriety, and I attended an interdenominational Sunday school that met catty corner across from where I lived at the library. Well, our teacher, about the second or third week I was there, our teacher said he was moving and that we needed to find another one. I was unanimously voted in to be the teacher. Problem is, I didn't put my name in the hat. So anyway, I was like, well, we'll do what we got to do. And every Monday morning, I was off on workman's comp, so I didn't have anything else to do anyway. So on Monday morning, I would ask God, what am I supposed to talk about on Sunday? What are we supposed to learn? And this particular verse, well, first off, he said joy. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I go to, Galatians chapter 5 and, the fruits of the Spirit. And he goes, no. And he led me to the verse I just read. And I'm like, I don't get it. Joy is a fruit. You have to grow it. You have to plant it. You have to cultivate it. It has to go through a lot of fertilizer, or we go through a lot of crap, in other words. And he's like, it's also a gift. He goes, if you remember, David said in Psalms, the joy of the Lord is our strength. He didn't say the fruit of joy of the Lord is our strength. He said the joy of the Lord is our strength. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. He goes, why don't you go make a glass of chocolate milk and make sure it's a glass and not a cup? I said, I don't want chocolate milk. He goes, no, but I want you to make a glass of chocolate milk. So I went in and said, okay. Went in and got the glass. He goes, I want you to put a lot of chocolate in it. I said, I plan to, because I like my chocolatey browner than me. and so I did. I made it. I stirred it all up. He goes, okay, now put it on the counter and go sit down. I'm like, fine. So I set it on the counter, and I went and sat down. And I started reading through studying the rest of the lesson, trying to put down what he wanted me to say. And he said, okay, now I want you to go. About 5-10 minutes later, he said, now I want you to go look at that chocolate milk. Well, what does chocolate milk do when it sets? The chocolate settles, right? Okay. He says, the chocolate or the milk is brown because it remembers having the chocolate. It remembers it. But the chocolate is sitting at the bottom of the glass. He says your joy is the same way. You accuse of Satan or this person or this situation of stealing your joy, and that doesn't happen. He said your joy settles. And just like the milk and the chocolate milk, your spirit remembers the essence of the joy and hungers for the rest of that joy. He said, now stir up the chocolate milk. So I stirred it back up, and he goes, now what do you see? I said, I see really good-looking chocolate milk. And he goes, yeah, now you can go ahead and drink it. So I, of course, being the obedient servant I am, I did. And he said, now remember this. Your joy is like chocolate milk. When I say stir up the joy that is within you, or stir up the gift that is within you, you're the one that has to do it. I can't stir up the joy for you, he said, because I'm not the one who let it settle. He said, you take care of that.